little birds. I'm glad you're here, because unfortunately I believe this may be the last time we ever speak. I have advised kings, queens, lords, but for the first time in my life I'm guilty of treason. One of the rules to being a hand, an advisor, is to always be loyal to your king or queen. You'll notice that the top advisors, often from king to king, remain the same for years, even as different people rise to the thrones. You see, a good advisor knows it's dangerous to try to garner too much power of their own, try to overthrow kings and queens. And when the next one comes along, they realize that the person's trustworthy. It's often a tenuous situation when a new king rises to the throne, and they really need advisors that have connections, that have their finger on the pulse of the public. So there's a small group of us that really remain the same. I unfortunately broke the cardinal sin of trying to overthrow my queen. As you've seen in the letters I have sent you, it turns out that Jon Snow is actually a Targaryen and has a more legitimate claim to the throne than even Daenerys does. So when he came to see Queen Daenerys to prepare for the invasion of King's Landing, I met him, knowing full well that he's expressed in the past not having any desire to rule. I asked him if he would reconsider. He did not. So by now, I suppose a small contingent of Unsullied are on their way to arrest me, and I suppose I will be burned by the dragon. Ever since Daenerys has come across the seas, I haven't really liked what I've seen. It seems she's become more bitter and less fair. Before she came over here, I thought we had a real chance for the first time in generations to have a truly fair, good person on the throne. As time has passed now, though, it seems Daenerys isn't quite the fair person, the person who freed slaves. She just doesn't seem like the same person as she was in the past. Everybody knows Jon Snow can do nothing but be fair. He's a hero. Everyone loves him. He's beloved everywhere. It seems like he would be the best choice to be king. Unfortunately, it seems he doesn't really want it. I understand. Things have been tough over here for Daenerys. She's lost 2 of her dragons, which are literally her children. She's lost 2 of her top advisors and oldest friends. She's lost thousands of Dothraki, Unsullied. Her armies have been decimated over here. And she's also lost the love of Jon Snow. Such things can really make a person go mad. However, if she didn't have these adversities, on the throne at some point she would face many adversities. It's best that we know what she's capable of under pressure now rather than before she takes the throne. Before I rested my last hopes into Jon Snow to be our leader, I had a little fantasy that somehow Tyrion and I could rule the 7 kingdoms. What a grand world where not only fairness but enlightenment ruled. I suppose it's a world that we'll never know. Granted, I took a big risk when I have undermined Daenerys to try to get Jon Snow to the throne. I've spent my whole life serving kings, queens, and lords, and my top priority has really always been for the happiness and well-being of the people. Imagine, if you will, what if we had a just, fair king or queen on the throne? Imagine people not fearing retribution for perceived slights. Imagine there being no wars. Imagine a generation of children growing up not learning to hate, not learning to be greedy, rather learning to get along and work for the common good. I feel like this is our chance right now, and I felt like Jon Snow had a much better chance of making that a reality than Daenerys, so I took my shot. I took this shot even though I knew it was a long shot, and now that it hasn't come to pass, I fully expect to be executed within a small amount of time. So, little birds, as I bid my farewell, regardless of who's on the throne, I ask you to be kind with each other and work together. No matter how vengeance a king or queen is, they cannot rub that off on the people themselves. It's your job to create a new world. And you'll have to. The amount of bloodshed and destruction this has caused, you'll be rebuilding for generations. But that's okay. Maybe you can rebuild into a new image, a better world. Maybe that can be my legacy. Farewell, my little birds. May the wind always be at your back, and may you fly for a long, long time.